In a world where artificial intelligence has become the ultimate game changer, two figures emerge from the technological ash. The locker room has been upgraded. From the minds at Sport AI Consultants, prepare yourself for analysis that cuts through the noise like a plasma blade. You're entering the AI locker room. I'm Guy Branston.
And I'm Ashley Barrett. Welcome to episode 28. Okay, so imagine this. A football club in the 7th tier of English football is making headlines, not for a big signing, not for a cup run, but for introducing AI-generated footballers. That's exactly what #United has done, and it's got everyone talking.
It's such a bold move, isn't it? I mean, we're used to seeing innovation in football, but this feels like something completely different. AI footballers Holly Durango and Harvey Casper aren't just digital creations, they're part of a much bigger conversation about technology, branding, and the future of sports.
Right, and #United isn't your average football club. Founded by YouTuber Spencer Owen, they've always been about blending football with entertainment. They've built a massive online following by doing things differently, and this latest move is just another example of that. But let's get into the why. Why would a semi-professional club like #United invest in AI footballers?
Well, for one thing, it's a relatively low-cost way to generate massive buzz. Signing a big-name player is out of reach for a club at this level, but creating AI footballers? That's a much more affordable investment. Plus, it's a way to tap into the growing interest in AI and digital innovation. It's not just about the game, it's about positioning the club as forward-thinking and innovative.
And it's working, isn't it? The buzz around Holly Durango and Harvey Casper has been incredible. Their social media accounts are blowing up with fans engaging with their posts as if they were real players. But let's break it down for anyone who might not be familiar. What exactly are these AI footballers doing?
Essentially, they're digital avatars that look and act like real footballers. They have social media accounts where they post updates, share videos, and interact with fans. Their voices and videos are generated using AI, and they even have backstories that make them feel like real people. It's all about creating a believable persona that fans can engage with.
And that's where it gets really interesting, doesn't it? Because on one hand, it's a brilliant marketing move, but on the other hand, it raises some big questions about authenticity and the fan experience. How do fans feel about this? Are they excited about the innovation, or do they see it as a gimmick?
The reaction has been mixed, to say the least. Some fans are intrigued by the novelty and see it as a fun addition to the club's identity. Others, however, feel like it blurs the line between reality and fiction in a way that's unsettling. There's a sense among some that it's more about spectacle than substance, which can be a tricky balance to strike.
And that's the risk, isn't it? If fans feel like they're being manipulated, or if the AI footballers don't live up to the hype, it could backfire. But at the same time, the potential upside is huge. More eyeballs on the club means more opportunities for revenue, whether that's through sponsorship deals, merchandise sales, or other avenues.
Exactly. And let's not forget the ongoing cost of maintaining and updating these AI assets. It's not just a one-time investment, it's something the club will need to keep investing in to stay relevant. But let's talk about the ethical side of things for a moment. At what point does this kind of AI branding cross a line? Is there a risk that it could feel disrespectful to fans who value authenticity in their football experience?
That's a great question. I think it all comes down to transparency. If the club is upfront about what's real and what's AI, and if they use these digital players in a way that enhances the fan experience rather than detracting from it, then it can work. But if fans feel like they're being deceived, that goodwill can evaporate very quickly.
And then there's the issue of intellectual property. Who actually owns the likeness and voice of an AI-generated footballer? Is that something clubs need to be thinking about?
Absolutely. This is uncharted territory in many ways, and there are bound to be legal and ethical questions that arise. Licensing, consent, and potential rights disputes are all things that clubs and leagues will need to navigate. It's possible that we'll see new regulations around this in the future.
Speaking of regulations, do you think leagues should step in and set guidelines for how AI assets can be used in football?
I think they'll have to, eventually. Whether it's disclosure rules, limits on certain marketing tactics, or oversight on how these AI players interact with fans and real players, there's a need for some kind of framework to ensure fairness and transparency.
Let's get a bit nerdy for a moment. What kind of technology is powering these AI footballers? How are they able to create such realistic avatars and engaging social media content?
It's a combination of photorealistic avatar technology, voice and video synthesis, and automated social media narratives. Essentially, it's about using AI to tell a story at scale, and it's pretty impressive when you think about the level of detail involved.
And what about the cost? Is this something that other clubs could replicate, or is it a one-off for #United?
It's definitely replicable, but it's not cheap. Clubs would need the right partners and a clear plan for how to monetize the investment. Sponsorships, ads, and paid content are all potential revenue streams, but it's not something you can just dive into without a strategy.
So if a club wanted to experiment with AI storytelling, what would be a good first step?
Start small, run a controlled pilot, be transparent with fans about what's AI and what's not, and make sure it aligns with a real on-field or community goal. Measure the engagement and use that data to refine your approach.
And for sponsors or investors who are interested in AI in football, what are the red flags they should be watching for?
Look for credible tech partners, solid data and privacy controls, and a clear path to sustainable revenue. Don't get caught up in the hype of a single viral moment. Make sure there's a long-term plan in place.
It's such a fascinating topic, and it feels like we're just scratching the surface. AI is changing the game in so many ways, and it will be interesting to see how clubs and fans adapt to this new reality.
Absolutely. Whether you love it or hate it, there's no denying that AI is here to stay, and it's going to be a big part of football's future. The key will be finding ways to use it that enhance the game rather than detract from it.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us as we explored the intersection of football and technology. Until next time, stay curious and keep an eye on the future of the game. That wraps up this edition of the AI Locker Room. We've explored the cutting edge and stared into the fire. The landscape of sport is changing faster than anyone predicted, and we're here to make sure you're not left behind.
Absolutely, Guy. This has been a fascinating discussion on episode 28. Remember, this episode was powered by the visionaries at Sport AI Consultants.
For Ashley and myself, thank you for joining us.
Stay tuned for more. The future is closer than you think.